¿Qué pasa YouTube? 6-Foot Hacks here, got for you guys today another Showdown live, and this time it's going to be in the UU tier. If you guys may have missed my previous upload, a link to that will be down in the description. You guys can go check that out and then come back to this one. If you guys do enjoy the video, then you know what to do. Again, no face cam because my webcam is still being a bit of a pain. I don't have the money right now to get a new one, but hopefully I can get it figured out or I can fix it. But yeah, hopefully you guys do still enjoy the live, and this is sorry, this is a pretty fun team that I made that I wanted to base around Choice Banded Entei and a bulky sub DD Gyarados spread that I saw on the Smogon forums, because they pair up pretty well. Next off, I threw in a Scarf Celebi, something else I saw on the forums that I really wanted to try out, and so far it's been actually coming in pretty handy, being able to catch things off guard. The main reason why I have Baton Pass as opposed to U-Turn is for things like Krookodile that want to pursue me if I do U-Turn, or Mega Absol. Next off, we have Empoleon. So Empoleon has been growing on me more lately, so I don't dislike it as much, especially because it does fulfill all the roles I needed to fulfill on the team. Then we have a Sylveon, just a little defensive core between the two. Then finally off, we have a Life Orb Hydreigon, which Hydreigon is something I've really not seen a lot of in UU recently. I don't know why, because this thing is an absolute monster, so hopefully this will put in nothing but the finest of work. But yeah guys, that is a quick intro to the team. With that being said, let's go get the first battle. Alright guys, so we got the first game here, and it looks like my opponent has a Sticky Web team, which is actually pretty cool because you don't typically see Sticky Web. He may just lead with the Shuckle then. What I could do is lead Gyarados, but if he has Encore, that would really suck. I think I'm gonna lead Empoleon, because if he does lead the Shuckle, it's not that big of an issue. I can just defog away the sticky webs and rocks. So I think Empoleon is my best lead. Plus I'm pretty sure he's not gonna want to lead off with Krookodile. He also doesn't have anything to safely take on my Entei, which is gonna be really good for me in this game. Tornadus could be a bit of an issue, so I gotta watch out for that. Let's see what he's gonna want to do. Doublade I'm gonna have to get rid of because it is a bit of a nuisance to my team, as he ends up leading off with the Krookodile. The question is he gonna go straight for the Earthquake or not? This would be a perfect chance for him to get up rocks, but he ends up going for the superpower, straight up knocking me out, which does kind of suck. But I can just bring in my Entei now and just click Sacred Fire. Even if he brings in the Blastoise, I'm going to be able to weaken that. If he stays in with this, I can knock it out. So I think just going for Sacred Fire here is my best play. It does kind of suck that we lost Empoleon right away because he can get up his webs, but Gyarados isn't affected by it, so that's fine. Neither is my Hydreigon, which is really great. But this Tornadus has now become a really big problem. So it's no burn, which is fine, as I will be able to just bring in my Celebi here, as he's probably just going to go for the Scald. He ends up going for the Ice Beam there. Very nice play on his part. I really just want a U-turn here, because he has a safe switch in with Doublade and Tornadus. So it will be a bit of an odd play if he does just stay in with Blastoise, I would say. So he's going to end up bringing in the Shuckle as I break the sturdy on that. I can now just bring in Gyarados probably and Waterfall. At the same time though, I kind of want a Dragon Dance, because he could just go for the Stealth Rocks right away, or the webs right away. And unfortunately Hydreigon doesn't knock him out, so I'm gonna bring in Gyarados. The question is though, do I want to DD first or just Waterfall? I almost just want a Waterfall. But then if he does get up hazards regardless, that'll be bad. I'm just gonna Waterfall, I think. If he brings in Blastoise, I 2-KO him with Waterfall and Bounce anyways. If he brings in Doublade, I can weaken him a bit. And then just switch directly into Entei and then 2-KO the Blastoise. But I'm just gonna Waterfall. Because I really don't want to risk him going for Encore, because in that case he can get up webs and rocks a whole lot easier. So I think just Waterfalling is the safer play. But I really want to Dragon Dance. I really want to Dragon Dance. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to Waterfall to be safe. I'm guessing he's debating too on whether or not he should Encore or he should get up hazards. Because Dragon Dancer right now is probably the only way I'm going to be able to come close to winning this game. Because odds are really not in my favor right now. This Tornadus is going to be a huge issue if he does get up webs. Doublade is bulky. So he's really taking his time. So Waterfall does nothing, as I'm gonna Dragon Dance here and Waterfall again. So we are able to knock out the Shuckle. We are at +1. He has Moxie on Krookodile, right? Yeah. Doublade wouldn't be a bad option for him to bring in here. Although I'm at +1, I can just spam him with Waterfall and just weaken him, which is what he's gonna do. So I'm just gonna Waterfall right away, I think, just to see how much it does. It should do about 30 to 40% if I'm not mistaken. Even though I'm not a plus attack nature, I can still really wear down Doublade, and I can still save Gyarados for later. Especially to be able to intimidate this Krookodile, which would be really great. So I get off a solid 30%, as he's going to end up going for the Swords Dance. Would he go straight? No, I'm just going to Waterfall. So Shadow Seek doesn't do too much, thankfully, as I will be able to 2-KO him. And here I think I'm just going to make the safe switch into my Hydreigon, because I should be able to take 2 Shadow Sneaks unless he does predict this, which he doesn't. So I should be able to just safely go for a Fire Blast here and catch the incoming Sylveon potentially. No, he's going to decide to just fodder this off, so we get rid of the Doublade, which is nice. I don't want to say that this Krookodile is Scarfed, because he shouldn't have been able to knock out my Empoleon with 1 hit. He can bring in Sylveon, but he ends up bringing in the Tornadus. I have no real switch-ins to this either, so I may have to fodder off Hydreigon here. I could also maybe just fodder off Celebi, because Celebi really does not do anything. And then with Entei I can spam Extreme Speed. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to fodder off Celebi here. Hopefully he doesn't have Substitute. Let's see what he goes for. He's gonna go straight for the Hurricane, just knocking me out as he turns out to be Life Orbed. I don't know if Sylveon can comfortably take a Hurricane. If I bring in Entei, I chip off damage on Krookodile if he brings it in. I 2-KO the Blastoise, and I may be able to knock out the Tornadus. Let's see. Tornadus Special Attacker. Tornadus is actually something I've been wanting to try in UU. Okay. Sylveon. Is there not a defensive spread? So Sylveon regardless should be able to actually eat a Hurricane, right? Yeah, because I have HP investment and a lot of Spadef investment, so I think I'm going to make the safer switch into my Sylveon here. I could just go straight for the Hyper Voice is what I'm thinking. Just to weaken this. Yeah, because Hurricane, he's also risking missing Hurricane if he goes for it. So I can maybe 2 KO Blastoise, weaken his Sylveon, and weaken his Krookodile, although I may be able to knock out Krookodile. I'm not too sure, but just Hyper Voicing I think is the better play as opposed to going straight for the Wish, because I don't want to give him a potential free switch into the Blastoise, in which case he can then potentially burn me. What? This gets Sludge Wave. Please knock this out. No, okay. So that kind of sucks. Okay, this is a problem. Oh, this is not good. This is not good, not good. I need to get a double protect here. Yeah, please. Damn it. That is, I think that's pretty much game. So unfortunately we end up losing our first battle there. I was not expecting Sludge Wave at all. Or else I would have protected first. But I did not even know this could learn Tornado. So kind of my fault there. I should have protected, then wished. Then that would have brought me out of range of him knocking me out with 2 Sludge Waves. And then I wouldn't have had to rely on a double protect in order to be able to win. Because what he can do here, yeah, is just bring in Krookodile and just knock me out with an Earthquake, or he can honestly just go for knockoff. I'm just going to E-Speed. Maybe we can knock him out. If I can get up a Dragon Dance with my Gyarados somehow, we can still maybe pull out a victory. Maybe, just maybe. Regardless, I'm just going to E-Speed. That does nothing. As he doesn't quite knock us out though. Unless I get a crit here, I don't think we're going to be able to win. Yeah, because even a neutral choice banded knockoff is going to be able to knock us out. So yeah, unfortunately, misplaying there with Sylveon is going to cost us the game, because I'm pretty sure Sylveon would have been able to win us the game, because we could have taken out the Blastoise. We could have eaten a hit from Krookodile and knocked it out. Then his Sylveon gets beat, or should get beat, by the combination of Gyarados, Entei, and Hydreigon, and potentially my own Sylveon. So I'm just going to Dragon Dance. Unfortunately, that is my only chance of winning. So unfortunately, while we take an L in the first game, hopefully we can redeem ourselves in the second one. So yeah, let's go get another one. Alright guys, so we got the second battle here. Unfortunately, I was in the middle of another game and my internet decided to crash. But it's okay. It's okay. Because we found this battle. And my opponent has a pretty cool looking team. No Stealth Rocker for whatever reason. Don't know why. I'm gonna lead Entei, I think. Because he may lead Bat or he may lead Sableye, is what I'm thinking. As he ends up leading off with the Cloyster. I'm just gonna go straight for Sacred Fire regardless. Yeah, because even if he does want to go for Shell Smash, it's not that bad because I have Empoleon. So he is gonna Shell Smash. Unfortunately for him, we do burn him. He shouldn't knock me out with any hit that he goes for. But I'm just going to make the safe switch into my Empoleon as he ends up Hydro Pumping. Okay, so it's a good thing that I decided to switch there, as I will be able to get up my rocks here, seeing as he's going to knock himself out because of the burn. So Cloyster, not really doing much in this game. If he has Explosion, it may do a little bit of damage to me. Shouldn't do too much, as we do manage to get up our rocks. He can bring in the Blastoise now to try and Rapid Spin, and I need to get off some prior damage on Blastoise before my Hydreigon or Entei can knock him out. So he's gonna end up bringing in the Blastoise. What I kind of want to do is just go for Scald, because if I bring in Celebi, Actually, if I bring in Celebi, I could potentially just force him to switch out and then I can U-turn. So I think that's what I may do instead. As he ends up going straight for the Scald instead of going for the Rapid Spin, which is really good for me as he unfortunately does get the burn. It's not that big of a deal. And he stays in. Why are you staying in? Huh? Okay, so he's going to end up Rapid Spinning here as I want a Baton. He should switch right into his what am I talking about? He should switch into his Crobat, so I'm gonna Baton Pass. Why? What are you doing? Switch! Switch! You have a Crobat! I'm just gonna click Draco Meteor here. I'm just clicking Draco. So he was pretty adamant about staying in with his Blastoise there. I don't know why, but we're able to just nuke the Blastoise and get rid of it, which is really nice. Although he did weaken Sylveon a bit, and he did weaken my Celebi a bit. He's gonna bring in the Crobat now. He can't just go for the U-turn. If I bring in Gyarados, he may U-turn into Sableye to try and burn me, in which case I get a free switch into my Entei, but he turns out to just go straight for the Brave Bird and does entirely too much damage to me. So I'm gonna switch into my Empoleon here as he then gets a crit. Really? It's fine. It's fine. We managed to thankfully take the second Brave Bird. Man, I cannot talk. As he's gonna knock us out here. So after this Intimidate, we should be able to just bring in Crobat. I mean Entei. I can also bring in Sylveon and maybe try to Baton Pass. Or what I could do, okay, I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in my Sylveon here and I'm going to go for the Wish first. Because this way, if he does want to switch into his Entei, I can then just try to pass off the Wish to my Gyarados, which can come in. I do risk a burn though, but I can just save Gyarados around to just kind of keep that Entei in check a little bit, as he is just going to actually end up going straight for the Brave Bird, which is fine with me, seeing as I can just protect now. And then I can just Wish again, and eventually he's going to knock himself out to recoil damage, but he's going to end up bringing the Sableye here. I'm not really too sure why, because I do have the Hyper Voice, and it is a fairy type move, and boosted as well, so I'm not too sure what he did. This is why we can't have nice things in this world, because people use Confuse Ray Sableye. Like that's a set that will function. Don't ever use Confuse Ray Sableye. Please don't be that guy. So we knock out the Sableye as Crobat gets knocked out by rocks. We are going to be able to pull out the win in this game. However though, I kind of wish that my internet didn't disconnect in that first game, because that was honestly a better game than this one, but hopefully third time is the charm and that will be a better game. The first game wasn't bad. But what I'm trying to say is I'm wishing that I could have got a win in a better battle than this one. If you guys get what I'm trying to say. So he's going to knock me out with the Stone Edge, A-okay with me. I can just bring in this Dark Pulse, knock this out. If he brings in Conkeldurr, he doesn't take Dark Pulse plus Draco Meteor, I'm pretty sure. And he's just going to sack off the Entei, as I can just Draco this even if he knocks me out. I have Celebi that can come in and knock him out with a Psychic. So that still did 70% as he ends up over predicting, and another Draco will knock him out as he ends up knocking me out with a Mach Punch actually, which is fine with me because Celebi can just come in, I'm a click Psychic, knock him out, and that is going to be the victory. So let's get another one. Alright guys, so we got the third battle here, and this dude has a pretty cool looking team. Sylveon is going to be a bit of a pain. Your mom... Whoa, okay then. That escalated quickly. Leads. Crobat or Doublade, I'm thinking. Swampert potentially as well. I kind of want to lead Entei. Another option would also be Gyarados. Actually, I think Gyarados is a pretty solid lead looking at his team. Because if I lead Hydreigon, I just give him a free switch into Sylveon, or then I have to make a double. If I lead Gyarados, he's not going to lead Sceptile, and I take on anything else that he leads with. So yeah, I'm just going to lead Gyarados. As he actually ends up leading off with a Lucario, so what this can allow me to do is potentially get up a free substitute and see what he wants to do, or if he switches out, that's a-okay with me actually. Because then I can just weaken Doublade a little bit, as he actually ends up bringing in the Swampert, so now he may want to go for the Roar. I don't know if... Does Bounce block Roar? I want to say it does. I really do. I think I'm just going to Bounce here, I think. Okay, so yeah, so luckily Bounce does block Roar, so I'm going to be able to get off a little bit of damage on the Swampert. The reason why I didn't Waterfall is because both Waterfall and Bounce are neutral regardless. This way, I'm able to get a little bit of leftovers with my Gyarados. So he's going to roar me out into my Sylveon. He's probably just going to get up rocks here, unfortunately. I'm just going to Hyper Voice regardless, as he actually ends up bringing in the Crobat. Now we can see if he's Black Sludged or Choice. As he turns out to be Choiced, he should not have Cross Poison if he is a bulky variant of Crobat, because they typically carry Roost, Defog, Brave Bird, and U-Turn. Taunt is also another option of a move that he may have. So I kind of want a Baton Pass. I'm going to Baton Pass, as he does actually end up going for the U-Turn. So this is really good, because now we will be able to get switch initiative on what he decides to bring in. And it is going to be the Doublade. So I have an Entei. His only water type is a Swampert. You know what happens to water types that switch into Entei, right? They get burned by Sacred Fire. So that's what's going to happen here, right? Right? No, it's not at all what happens. So that kind of sucks. I'm just actually going to stay in here and just spam Sacred Fire, because I'm pretty sure he's going to want to try to get up rocks thinking I'll switch out, or he may think I'll pull a double switch. Can we get a burn? Yes! Thankfully we do get a burn here. Unfortunately though, because we didn't burn him before, he's not in range to where another Sacred Fire will knock him out, which means we'll bring him down into Torrent range, and he'll knock us out. Well, he won't knock us out, sorry. He'll get off a huge hit with Scald. I kind of almost want to switch right into Celebi. That wouldn't be a bad switch. I don't want to bring Napoleon because I don't want to get burned. Yeah, I think I'm just going to make the hard switch into Celebi here. There's a chance he may want to switch out, although that would be a really bad play if he did do that. So Scald does do a nice little chunk of damage to us. Now what we can do is U-turn again or go for the Psychic. If I Psychic, I chip away at the Doublade a little bit, which would be really good. I need to get rid of these rocks before I'm able to get up my own rocks though. I really don't want to U-turn, him stay in, and then go for Scald, and then potentially burn my Empoleon. Because that would be really bad. And then after I knock out Swampert, he gets a free switch into Lucario, which is checked by Gyarados, but if he still has rocks up, then he can just weaken me accordingly and probably prevent me from passing off wishes. So I think, as much as I don't want to, Psychic is probably my best play here. Oh, yes! 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 We're able to knock out the Crobat, which is absolutely amazing, as I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Empoleon here, as he's going to double into Lucario, predicting my Empoleon. Very nice play on his part. We do have Gyarados, which even if he does go for the Swords Dance, he's only going to be at +1, and as you saw there, that did nothing to us. So what I can do here is just go for the Waterfall potentially. I haven't shown it to him, so he may not be expecting it. He may be expecting me to substitute. Another option would be to Dragon Dance, but then he can close combat and knock me out with E-Speed. So I think just Waterfalling regardless is my safer play, as he's going to sack off the Swampert, which is absolutely amazing. These rocks do need to go though, because they are becoming a huge issue to me. I'm going to go ahead and just bring in my Sylveon here, as he's going to Mega Evolve and go for the Leaf Storm, as we are able to eat the hit. Ooh, that did too much damage, I'll be honest, but it's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Wish here regardless. I can pass off a Wish to whatever checks whatever he decides to bring in, so I'm not too worried about whatever he switches in here, as he ends up bringing in the Doublade. It's a little risky to switch right into my Gyarados, I think. If I just protect here, I allow him to be at +2, and then I'm gonna be forced to fodder something off of my team. But I can always Healing Wish into my Sylveon, so I almost just want to Baton Pass the Wish to my Gyarados, because this way he'll only be at +1, and then my Gyarados should be at full HP. And then maybe... Yeah, I think I'm gonna just have to make the aggressive switch into Gyarados. I don't want to switch right into Hydreigon either, because he could potentially predict that. And I need to find some way to get up my rocks, so I'm just gonna Baton Pass here into Gyarados. After the Intimidate, I should be able to take any hit that he wants to go for if he doesn't Swords Dance, which he does end up going for regardless, as he is at +1. I think I may hard switch right into my Hydreigon, because Waterfall is only going to be... Waterfall does 30% at +1. Neutrally, it's only going to be doing about 15, 20 maybe, and then he'll beat me 1v1 regardless. So I'm just going to make the safe switch into my Hydreigon here in hopes that he doesn't predict this, as he's actually going to double into Sylveon. Nice play on his part, got me there. He can pull another double switch here. Unfortunately, I'm not... Even though I am up 6-4, he still has a good chance to win this game. Doublade is a nuisance to my team. A Lucario at +2 could be a bit of a problem. I get a free defog here, which is absolutely amazing. But then he gets a free switch into Lucario, which I'm actually not too concerned about. So yeah, I'm just going to defog here, finally get rid of these rocks, thankfully. And Gyarados should be able to just come in and still check this Lucario. So it's a good thing that I did pass off the Wish to Gyarados as opposed to just staying in and protecting with my Sylveon, because now I'm able to get rid of rocks. I have Gyarados to check this Lucario, and yeah, we are now in a good scenario, and as soon as I get on my rocks, we will be in a definite advantage in this game. So slowly but surely we are switching momentum back into our favor, as he's probably debating on what to do. Even at +1, he doesn't knock out my Gyarados, seeing as I am at 84%. He could pull a double switch into Sceptile, in which case he may get a KO, depending on what move he goes for. So let's see what he wants to do. This is a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm happy though that this game is going better than the previous one though. So I'm gonna switch into Gyarados. He's gonna go for the Swords Dance, and much like Swampert, both Bounce and Waterfall are neutral. Bounce actually... Okay, so my bad. I thought Bounce had 80 base power, not 85. I should just Waterfall, I think. Yeah, I think just Waterfalling is my best play to do here. Because at +1, after a close combat, an E-Speed is going to bring me down very, very low. He could also maybe knock me out. So I think just waterfalling is the better play to do here. Yeah, so as you saw there, at +1, that E-Speed still did 57. No, it still did 53%. Oh my lord. I could switch here, switch back in, and bring him back down to neutral attack, which is what I think I may do. Yeah, because I don't want Entei to take any unnecessary damage. He should definitely just E-Speed again. If he close combated there like a man, that would have been a amazing play. And he gets lucky and he crits us. That may come back to hurt us later in this match. I'm just going to switch into my my Gyarados here, as he actually ends up switching into his Sceptile here. So I'm guessing he's going to want to save this Lucario for later. I could make a very risky play and bring in Celebi, which is what I'm going to do. Oh, okay. I was a little scared that he was gonna go for the what was that word? Dragon Pulse. I was really scared that he was gonna go for Dragon Pulse. Luckily though he didn't. Luckily he did not. And now we can just U-turn and we can still save Celebi as he ends up bringing in the Doublade. We do absolutely no damage. And we get a KO here with Sacred Fire. So we are definitely switching momentum back into our favor, as he's gonna sack off the Lucario. He can now get a free switch into his Sceptile or his Sylveon. Does he have Hidden Power Ground maybe? Do I need this? No, if I get rid of Sylveon, then I win with the last remaining mons I have. So regardless, my best play is to just Sacred Fire here, as we straight up OHKO him. Sceptile can maybe knock us out with the Dragon Pulse, but we are going to be able to win this game in a potential 6-0. So it was looking a little bit spotty for us there at the beginning of the battle, but as I said, we were able to shift momentum back into our favor, as he's going to end up forfeiting. So I think we're going to get one final battle. So yeah, my opponent has a Hitmonlee, which is actually really cool, and hopefully will not destroy me. Salamence could be a bit of an issue. As long as he has this Gardevoir, my Hydreigon doesn't do much in this battle. Leads, I kind of just want to lead Entei really. He could lead Arrow though, which would suck. Celebi wouldn't be a bad lead either, I want to say. Gyarados can't do anything to Empoleon if he leads with that. I think I'm going to just lead Celebi, as he ends up leading off with the Nidoqueen. I'm Scarfed, so I kind of just want to go straight for the Psychic right away. Even if he switches out, that's not really going to be a problem to me if he switches out. If he brings in Empoleon, I can bring in my own Empoleon. If he brings in Gardevoir, I can bring in Sylveon or my Empoleon. So I think just going straight for the Psychic is the best play to do regardless, turn 1. As I do get off a decent little bit of damage on the Gardevoir. He could potentially be choiced in some way. And so long as he has Mence and Arrow, Entei may not be doing much in this game. I'm a little bit scared to switch directly into my Empoleon because he could go for the Focus Blast right away. There's also a chance he may pull a double switch here. I'm going to make a bit of a risky switch and I'm going to bring in Entei, expecting him to either Moonblast or pull a double switch. So he does Moonblast here, and now I'm going to be able to just get off a Sacred Fire on the Mence or the Aerodactyl. Yeah, because it's not really worth me going for Stone Edge if he does bring in a Salamence. This way I can potentially get a burn on one of the two checks to Entei. As he ends up over predicting, thinking I would go for Stone Edge, and I'm able to get rid of the Hitmonlee very early on in the game. So unfortunately we won't be able to see what it does, but we now don't have to worry about it. As he gets a free switch into the Aerodactyl, he can get up rocks, he can go for home claws, he can do pretty much anything that he wants to do here. I'm really scared of him having Earthquake, which I don't think he's going to go for right away if he does have it, so I'm going to make the safe switch into my Empoleon here, as he does just go for Stone Edge. Now if he does have the Earthquake, this is a chance for him to go for it, seeing as he may potentially knock us out. What does he switch into this? He can switch in his own Empoleon to a Scald. I really don't think Earthquake can knock us out from Mega Arrow. It shouldn't be able to, should it? Does 67 to 79. So if he does get a high roll, he knocks us out. I think regardless, I'm just going to stay in and go for Scald, as he ends up bringing the Ments. So now we have a chance to burn this, as we get a crit and a burn, which is absolutely crazy and really lucky for us. So we weaken one check to Entei. If he has Earthquake, he may knock us out, because he could be... No, he's burned, so he doesn't knock us out with any move that he wants to go for. I think regardless, my best switch in here is actually just my Sylveon, although I really do want to get up my rocks. I'm going to play a little bit risky and get up my rocks, as he ends up going for the Earthquake. Doesn't do entirely too much damage to us, which is really good. And now I can switch into my Sylveon and still be able to pass off a Wish to Empoleon later in this match. What I could also do here is go for the Baton Pass, predicting him to want to bring in Nidoqueen, and then I can get a free Psychic off with my Celebi. So I think that's what I'm going to do instead of going for the Wish, because that'll definitely put us in a better scenario than me going for Wish, him bringing in Nidoqueen and potentially knocking out my Empoleon with an Earth Power. So yeah, I'm just going to go for the Baton Pass, as unfortunately he's just going to stay in. I should be able to just bring in my Celebi and knock him out with a Psychic, seeing as he is below Stealth Rock's range, and unless he defogs, there's no way he's going to be able to utilize his Ments more later in this match. However though, if I do outspeed him, that could potentially reveal to him that I am Scarfed. So I have to watch out for that. As he ends up bringing in the Empoleon, he may just go for the defog now, which, I mean, doesn't really matter. Weakening this is going to be really good. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm just going to spam Psychic first and just really weaken Empoleon. This way, I bring him in ranges where my Hydreigon and Entei can knock him out. So yeah, just spamming Psychic is my better play to do here in this scenario. I don't really care if he wants to bring in Gardevoir, and Scarf Celebi is actually something I've really been enjoying lately. Like, it definitely catches people off guard, as unfortunately for my opponent, we get a crit. Sorry. He showed us Moonblast earlier, and it did how much to my Entei? It did 30% to Entei. So I'm a little concerned that he's Choice Specs, and I almost want to just stay in here and Psychic again. Like, I really can't afford to take one hit. I really can. So I'm just going to Psychic, see how much it does, as he ends up going for the Psyshock, which is absolutely amazing, because now he should be locked into that, and if he's not, with him not being Choiced or Life Orb, he can't 2-hit KO my Celebi. He can't knock out my Celebi at the amount of HP that I'm at, so I can just safely go for Psychic again and 2-hit KO him regardless of what he wants to do, as he's just going to go for Psyshock. So I'm pretty sure that he was Choice Specs, or he could have been Scarfed. Psyshock isn't doing too much damage, but regardless, we're going to be able to get rid of Gardevoir potentially, as he ends up bringing in the Salamence as Death Fodder, and he's going to bring in Aerodactyl now. He could have Pursuit maybe on this. Alright, sorry about that. So he's going to end up going for the Aerial Ace, as it doesn't do too much damage to my Gyarados, and with him still having Empoleon, I can't really do too much sweeping with Gyarados, although I could just Waterfall to weaken Empoleon. A Stone Edge will not knock us out. So I think I'm just going to stay in and Waterfall, as he actually does switch into the Empoleon, and that still did a pretty nice chunk of damage. He may have Roar, which is why I don't want to set up a substitute right away. If anything, Waterfall is going to be a 3-hit KO, so what I could do is Waterfall here, substitute as he goes for Scald, and then just Waterfall again, which is what I think I'm going to do. Or I can bounce on his Roar. Regardless, I'm just going to Waterfall first, as unfortunately for my opponent, I get a flinch, so I can just Waterfall again and then knock him out, as we then get a crit. That is pretty lucky. Yeah, so we are going to be able to pull out the victory here, it seems like. Gardevoir severely weakened. Nidoqueen. So he's gonna be making the Gardevoir. Honestly, I can probably just sack Gyarados here, but it's still nice to keep around to intimidate Mega Arrow, so I may go ahead and sack something else off. I think I'm just gonna bring in Sylveon here, because Sylveon doesn't really do much else in this match, as we are actually gonna be able to take 2 Moonblasts, which is really great. Regardless though, I'm just gonna Hyper Voice as he ends up bringing in the Nidoqueen. I'm perfectly fine with that, as we're able to get off a little bit of damage on it. I really don't need Sylveon here, so if I really wanted to, I can just spotter it off. So I'm just gonna Hyper Voice, just weaken him a little bit more as he ends up going for the rocks. Yeah, his best move to go for here is just a Sludge Wave, which is fine with me, because now I can bring in Hydreigon, click Dark Pulse, and either knock this out, knock out the Gardevoir, or knock out the Aerodactyl. So he's gonna decide to survive on 2. What? How did that live? Okay, I must be overestimating the power of Hydreigon, because that just lived like it was nothing. That is a little bit annoying. It's fine though, it's fine though, because Celebi does outspeed Aerodactyl. I can Psychic it, bring it down to where after an Intimidate he won't be able to win, is what I'm trying to say, sorry. So what I could do here is just stay in Psychic. Another play would be to switch out to come back in and Leaf Storm, which is neutral like Psychic, but I'd rather just Psychic first, as I do get off a decent little bit of damage on him, and he ends up over predicting there, going for the Pursuit, thinking I would switch out. You should have done that sooner, man. But now we're going to be able to get off that extra bit of damage on the Aerodactyl, bring in Entei, click E-Speed, and that is going to be the victory in our favor. So either Nidoqueen is stupidly bulky, or I'm just really overestimating the power of Hydreigon here. Ooh. But yeah guys, that is going to be the victory in our favor. So a bit of a lengthy live, I think this is about 40 minutes. Quick recap of the team. I'll be honest, I don't really like this team too much, but I don't know. I may keep it around just to get some other battles with it. But yeah, this is a team. Gyarados unfortunately didn't sweep how I wanted it to. I really wanted to show off sub GD Gyarados. Entei put in the work. Entei is a lord. Scarf Celebi really grew on me. I may actually use this set more often in the future. Empoleon put in some work. Sylveon also put in some work, and Hydreigon did as well. And Gyarados was actually pretty crucial to us winning the second to last battle, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the live, and if you did, then you know what to do. With that being said, guys, I will see you all tomorrow, if not then the day after. So yeah, later everybody.